Hey y'all, welcome back to the Chalk Sports Podcast, and we got him back. It's Atlas Sports back, or Atlas College Football Talk, or whatever. I forgot what it was again.
Atlas Sports, whatever you want to say, is good.
Yeah, but we're back, and we're here to talk about the college football playoffs. It's finally set. We talked about the championships, and we actually did really good. Like, I don't think we missed any games besides Tulane, because we said Tulane would lose.
Yeah,
but otherwise,
it was like 5 turnover difference. I can't predict that.
Yeah, no one can. And the fact that Notre Dame just got absolutely screwed, royally screwed out of the playoffs. But you know what? Alabama, if you want to lose by 30 to Georgia and then keep your number 9 spot, then you do you. But we're going to talk about every team's pathing and how they'll make it as far as they can. And what we think their ceiling is. And with that, we'll go into JMU.
One second. Okay, you're good. Keep going.
Is there a world where JMU wins?
No, they're not. They're going to get first rounded. If they do somehow pull up an upset, then they will get second rounded. The same with Tulane. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they don't deserve it in the playoffs because as the playoff format is set, they deserve to be in the playoffs. It is what it is. Do I wish it was changed? Sure, but it's just not. And there's like legal issues, there's legal issues behind. Yeah, there's that stuff that basically we have to at least have a G5 team in, which I don't know. At that point, it's just like, okay, it's just 11 teams going at it. And then the best team that didn't get a bye gets the worst team, I guess, in this case too. Like, it's fine. It's really whatever. You could say Notre Dame got screwed because they probably had a top 4, top 3 chance to win it all. But push comes to shove, win your games in the regular season. Like, you can't be too mad.
Well, yeah, unless you sign a deal with the college football playoffs where you can't get knocked out if you're in the top 12.
Yeah.
Which is interesting decision making. I don't know. Would that mean, like, they just jump a conference? Like, if we had the same thing happen, would they just knock Miami out? Or would it be like they would sit at 11 and Tulane would go up to 10 or something?
Nope, they would just knock Miami out.
Oh, that'll be fun to watch next year. Yeah. No, I feel like it's kind of good to have these Power 5 team or these lower 5 teams just make it, because it's like you could see a world where Tulane keeps it close. I don't see it. I don't see either of them winning, but like a Boise State last year probably wouldn't have made the playoffs, and they played pretty well against the Penn State team that was really good, in my opinion. So it's like it does suck because it's like these ones. I'm not going out here saying that it's the worst bracket in sports, because basketball's bracket is pretty arguably bad. But I'm also not saying March Madness is the worst bracket, so at least I'm smarter than that guy. That was a take. But no.
Yeah, Joe Klatt.
Yeah, that was how you get the entire internet to just hate you.
Yeah.
In one swift move. And so JMU, I respect their path, to be honest with you. I said they should be in the playoffs when the season first started. Like I said, when they lost to Louisiana, this really sucks because they could not make the playoffs anymore. And then they went undefeated and was like, okay, well, they kind of deserve it. I just feel like they would have to have a generational quarterback game. Alonzo Barrett would have to go insane, and they'd have to dominate that turnover differential to even stand a chance. I think that's the only world, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you hit it right on the nail. They don't really have a shot unless there's some heroics happening. So I'd say their ceilings is an upset first round, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's fine though. Tulane, I think they're in the same boat. Like you said earlier, like they have a world, just because like how bad will they be without how bad will Ole Miss be without Lane Kiffin? I don't think it'll be that bad. It would have to be really bad to lose to Tulane. And that's no shade towards Tulane. It's just a clear size mismatch. Even you go down to size, they're just outmatched. And they already played once and got whomped.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I just don't think there's a chance for them.
Even like it feels like they just don't. Yeah, there's no shot. Because Redcliffe, even when he played in that game, when he played in that game, he had 56 passing yards on 17 attempts. Like he got shut down.
Yeah, well, it won't be pretty.
No, this will be I think that'll be worse than the JMU game, to be honest with you.
I can see it.
All right, Miami.
So that side of the bracket is by far the toughest bracket. I mean, okay, I'll be honest with you. Their ceiling is winning it all, but there's a big if on there. So this year we've seen two different Carson Becks. Carson Becks who lights it up, and Carson Beck who throws like 5 interceptions and single-handedly loses the game.
Yeah.
In both games, he has thrown. I think in SMU he threw 2 or 3 picks, and then in the Louisville game he threw 4. Should have been 5. In both of those games, it still came down to the last seconds to lose those games, which shows you how good this Miami team can be. I personally think this Miami team is the best in the trenches, like offensive line, defensive line combo. They might have the best offensive line in the country.
100%.
Their running back, Mark Fletcher, I'm not a personal fan of him, but he runs really well behind that line because they push so well. They have guys out wide like CJ Daniels, the freshman phenom of Malachi Tony. In that defense, they got is it Shannon Dawson? No. They got the Minnesota guy. Is the Minnesota
the edge guy, Ruben Bain. Or no, someone
else.
Yeah. Yeah, Ruben Bain.
And but that defense is really good. So I actually really like Miami. I think they can win it all potentially. My issue with them is that they just have a really hard path. I mean, Texas A&M is not easy.
No.
Ohio State will be so hard. Georgia would be so hard. And then whoever in the championship game. Their ceiling is definitely to win it all. I actually think they win this first game against Texas A&M. But again, if Carson Beck has one of his doo-doo games, then against these good teams, they'll probably lose by 14 plus. So,
it would be very Carson Beck to just get absolutely just disappointed. He hasn't been good in the playoffs. Even when he came in Georgia, he was not good. Yeah. And they fell hard to Notre Dame, which I just don't I have a hard I don't know who I think wins that A&M game. That was the only game where I was like, I could go either way. Like, it's so hard to see. It's so hard to see either team winning this.
Yeah,
that game. And we'll get more into that when we get there. Bama at 9 and Oklahoma at 8. We'll just combine them. Oklahoma's astronomically better in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think they both about have the same path of like one of them's obviously going to win the first game, and then I think maybe an outside chance to upset Indiana. And if they do that, they're probably not upsetting Oregon or Texas Tech.
No.
So I think that semis the ceiling for both of those teams. I do think Oklahoma wins that game. Bama's just looked bad recently. I'm not saying Oklahoma has looked good, but the thing about Oklahoma that has looked good is their defense. Like, looks really good. Like, I'd put them potentially the best in the country, or at least top 5.
Yeah, I would say the only team that I'd only say Indiana and Ohio State better.
I was just gonna say I think this Oklahoma defense is better than Georgia's, and look what Georgia did to Alabama. So
maybe Texas Tech would be the only other team.
Yeah, I'd say Indiana, Ohio State, Texas Tech,
Oklahoma. I feel like Oklahoma. That's a good
Those
spot.
Are probably top 4. Those are probably top 4.
And Mateer can play good. Like, that's what.
Yeah. Well, he's electric, and he got on a good hot streak at the beginning of the year of not throwing interceptions and causing turnovers, but he's always been a turnover-prone guy in the past. He just had a stretch where he didn't, and he is what he is. He's electric. He's going to run with his feet. He's going to die for his team, but he can throw picks here and there. So
it's just been – I feel like this stretch – sorry, but this stretch after that hand injury has been brutal.
Yeah.
He's thrown more picks in, like, 3 games than all of last year.
Fair.
And I know easier competition, but it was LSU, Texas, and if you put another game in, like Tennessee, he's thrown 7. He's thrown 3 against 2 all right defenses, probably the best on his schedule. And they played Alabama and they won, but that game was so ugly for him. I feel like the fact that they won ugly against Bama is a good sign that they could win by more if Mateer steps up.
Yeah, no, 100% agree.
Because that Bama win, they got smoked on defense. It feels like a polar opposite game. The only reason Bama lost that game was because of interceptions and mistakes. And I feel or fumbles and mistakes, and I feel like that'll flip, where it'll be Oklahoma will play all the defense, force all the mistakes, and not give them those yards. I agree. So disappointed in Bama because they fell off the wagon. They should have been so much better.
100%. Something happened. I don't know, but it's bad.
They'll blame coaching, but I don't think it's coaching. I think it's. I just feel like it's inconsistent. It's almost like they hold that prestige of Bama, and they just can't keep up with it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I will see. I don't know. Under DeBoer, Alabama's been nothing but inconsistent. So we'll see if that keeps up or not.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we're gonna say Oregon or Oklahoma wins that one just for sake. So
Yeah,
then it would be Oregon Tech. So we'll get into which team are we? Oh, we're on Texas A&M now. Sorry, Texas A&M.
Yeah. So okay, personally with Texas A&M, I really do love the team around Marcel Reed. I'm not a big Marcel Reed guy. I don't think he plays well from behind. I don't think you can trust him to win games. I don't think he reads the field all that well. I do think he's very fast and electric and can use his legs and evade sacks and stuff like that. But I'm just not a big believer in him. Some people are. I thought I was wrong halfway through the season, but the final stretch of the season, I mean, the South Carolina game, I know they came back and won it, but he looked terrible that first half. If you have a first half like that against like Ohio State, you're probably down 50.
Yeah, you're losing that game instantly.
So I know he came back, but I think a lot of him coming back was from like the coaches setting up like easy pass plays for him. And even when he got down, they were up 1 or whatever, and they were gonna ice the game, and he did a pitch play, and he literally pitched it to the other team, like fumble, like it was just bad. So I just am not a Marcel Reed believer. They have a very elite, when healthy, running back room. Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, wide receivers out wide, awesome defense. They have like Cassius Howe, Torrin York, Will something. His nickname's a blanket. Yeah, Will Lee. His nickname's a blanket from or in a cornerback. They have dudes all over the defense. Now that defense does get torched sometimes, just big plays here and there. But I'm just not a Marcel Reed guy, and that's why I have Miami winning. But I could see Texas. I mean, that should be a close game.
So the only thing with that would be, Kyle Field. So I'm looking at the stats. I had it up. Marcel Reed is very good at home. I mean, obviously he's had 2 cupcake games with 3 cupcake games at home with USU. Actually, I don't disrespect USU like that, but UTSA and Samford. But when he plays like at home, I feels like he's more conservative. 208 pass yards, 2.2 touchdowns, 0.5 interceptions. Like he's pretty consistent. And then once he goes away, he's slinging it more. I don't know if Miami has the firepower almost to beat them. I feel like Texas Tech could catch them off guard.
I have this being the closest game, like in matchup wise. Obviously, like Alabama, Oklahoma could be close because none of them might score for a while. But matchup wise, I think this is by far the closest game.
Yeah, it's best.
Now for A&M ceiling, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see them making a run. Maybe I think some semifinals is potentially their ceiling.
I have a hard time even seeing that just because they play Ohio State.
I know. I don't think they can beat Ohio State. So
we saw Texas beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Or Ohio State beat Texas, and Texas A&M lost to Texas pretty bad.
So I think they win a game. That's about it.
Yeah, they could potentially. That Texas game was so eye opening for people who didn't pay attention because everyone was saying, "Oh, this Aggies team is so good." Like I think you made a video about it where it was like they've only played the bottom of the SEC.
Yeah,
their only loss was to Texas, and I was like, "Oh."
Actually, I made that before Texas.
Yeah, but even then,
everyone was like, I know everyone was like, you're just like cherry picking stats. Yeah,
I think I was defending you in the comment section. I was like, I don't know. The Aggies don't look too good. Like they could lose to Texas, and then they did, and then everyone got quiet. But no, Ole Miss is next.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this team's very capped.
See, I really do like this team. I just think there's a big thing in losing your head coach. I mean, it's not like the play on the field you're losing, but you're losing how he runs practice. Now that Pete Golding has stepped up to be the head coach, like, is he hired? Like, did he like coordinate like a DB's coach to be the defense? Like, everyone now is playing a new role, which practice is sometimes different. And they also see this a bunch with like interim head coaches coaching games, is that they don't understand the head coaching stuff like clock management, when to use your timeouts, when to do adjustments, stuff like that. So I think this team is capped from a coaching standpoint. I think their players are really good, and I think their players with Lane Kiffin could actually have gave Georgia a run for their money once again. Because if you don't remember, I think Ole Miss scored on
It was
their
35.
first five, and I think they only had 6 or 7 drives together. What really put Georgia over the edge is Georgia, I think, scored last going into half, and then got the ball right out of half and scored again because they all scored on each other, and that was like the big difference until the end. So I do think Ole Miss could run with Georgia, but I don't think so anymore. And Georgia's been like peaking at. I mean, their last game against Georgia Tech was not very good, but other than that, they've been peaking at the right time. And I think this Georgia coaching staff has done absolutely an elite job with this team because I really am not a fan of this team. Like I don't think they're that great, but they're doing what they can with them, and they're making them look really good. Like they get Zachariah Branch a bunch of screen passes, which is a little like tic-tacky and stuff, but it gets them ahead of the sticks. Like Zachariah Branch will sometimes break one, but a lot of times he just gets like 3 or 4 or 5 yards. But that's for them just an extension of the run game. So and it opens up a lot more things because you're not. I mean, it's an extension of the run game, but you're also doing it out wide. So like defenses need to adjust to that. So they can't just pack the box for just the run. I think Kirby Smart and coach are in. Was it Glenn Schumann and what's the offense coordinator? They hated him last year. Willie.
I'm getting there. Yeah, you were Mike Bobo.
Mike Bobo.
Oh, he's the quarterback's coach too. Oof. That's not.
Yeah. So I just think they have done an elite job coaching this team. I don't think this team is that. We're kind of moving into the Georgia there, but
yeah,
in general sense, I don't think Georgia is that great of a team, but their coaching staff has done an elite job, and I think they can do a lot of things.
So. Yeah, that'll stop Ole Miss, and like you actually got it right on the nail. It's the secondary coach is the assistant coach, Brian Brown, but I feel like that the coach change is so big. Like even I know you don't watch a lot of NFL, but the Lions, they lose their offensive coordinator, and they're not even going to make the playoffs this year. Like, you lose that piece, and it feels like that's what's going to happen to Ole Miss is they lost that piece. They lost Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin is such a sought-after coach. Either Lane Kiffin or Ole Miss made Lane Kiffin look good, or Lane Kiffin made Ole Miss look good. And I feel like it's towards. I don't think Trinidad Chambliss is like a crazy good quarterback. I think he's good, but he's not like I don't even know who I would say is a crazy good quarterback. I guess. Oh, who am I thinking? I'm blanking. Oh, Mendoza or Mestermaker or someone along those lines where it's somebody who's clearly made an impact throughout the season. He's been all right. K1 Lacey's kind of carried that team in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's especially where it runs into a wall is they're playing Georgia. If any of those top fours you lose to just because of the run matchup, you get outmatched. And then the last team, the last one in the first round, Oregon with their bye.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably talk about them a little more going into this, but I think Oregon is the most slept on team in the playoffs. I think I'm potentially even sleeping on them. No one's talking about how they've been so injured and they can get potentially everyone back and they can maybe get a guy back who's been out all year long in Evan Stewart. If you play in the postseason, you don't burn your red shirt. And he took a medical red shirt this year because he tore his ACL preseason or like in the summer sometime. And he is questionable for this first round game. So I kind of hope they don't play him because they should. What?
Oh, I was reading a headline. I think even if he doesn't play this week, he'll play if he plays next week.
He'll play if they make a run, he'll play. If they make a run, he'll play.
Yeah, and that
he probably won't be like a guy that lines up every down. He'll probably be in like certain packages or certain formations, and come in like here and there. Just because I mean, obviously he's going to be a bit rusty.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he does, I feel like this game. Obviously, this game is projected to see an Oregon just to demolish. Texas Tech is going to be they have probably the most favorable schedule. Because they play, JMU. Yeah. If they beat JMU, they move on to Texas Tech. They probably beat Texas Tech. Let's say they beat Texas Tech, which I think it personally will happen, and we'll talk about that more in a second, but they go on to the semis. Now they got to play an Indiana team that they've already played before. And I feel like that can cause the most chaos out of anything is if you've already played that team.
Mm-hmm.
So then Indiana they could beat, and then they're in a championship against Ohio State or Georgia or Texas A&M or Miami. I'm ruling Ole Miss out, but that's a favorable spot.
I mean, personally, I don't know what you think. I think the teams that can potentially win it all are Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, outside chance Texas Tech, very, very outside chance Miami.
I would throw Oklahoma in the very outside because we see Mateer at the start of the season. I think I'm fine with that.
I'm more than fine. I'm more than fine with that.
I think the Ole Miss is too messed up without coaching. Texas A&M is kind of capped, and yeah, I see Oklahoma definitely going on a run if they can slip by Indiana. I think Indiana would be their toughest.
Yeah, that's why I kind of don't put them in there. Is I think Indiana's gonna be tough for them to beat.
But the best part is about very outside chances. If you're right, you look like a genius, and if you're wrong, what can they say? Yeah. That's what I said about the Chiefs playoffs, and then I was right. And then followed that up with the Patriots might need another year, and it was like, oh crap, well, Texas Tech. So
I love Texas Tech. I think their front seven, so their defensive linebackers might be the best front seven in the country.
Yeah.
I love their outside receivers. They have a good Cameron Dickey's the running back, and he's like a walk-on, but he's awesome. He's really good. My only scare at this team is they have a hard time finishing in the red zone. So if that stands true, they're going to settle for a lot of field goals, and I think they can get beat first round. If not, potentially second round. But this is a team. I mean, if they fix up their red zones and they can score touchdowns, they can win it all. I mean, they can. I mean, their front seven is probably the best front seven in the country. So they can play defense with anybody as long as their offense can score some. Then, I mean, I don't think games against them are going to be like 45-45 games. So
yeah, I see them. Yeah, that front seven. Okay, if you like you said, I feel like Oregon is such a bad matchup for them. They really needed an A&M or somebody else because I feel like Oregon's the worst matchup because they're so pass heavy with Dante Moore. Right, yeah. Dante? Yeah, so they end up in that spot where their only bad loss obviously was that Arizona State loss. Like, that game was really bad, but they got ran on. Yeah. Did they get ran on? Yeah. Oh, they didn't get ran on. Never mind.
They had their backup quarterback in, which he balled out against Utah, but
yeah, that's Hammond, man. He was here last year. I thought he played way more than last year. I don't know why I did. Or I don't know. I'm getting my years mixed up. No, but ASU picked them apart on their passing game. You see it right there when Levitt played 319 yards, 1 touchdown. Like he was good on that pass, and it caught them off guard. And if they end up with BYU, could not pass on them. But that was to be expected. Like there's certain teams where I feel like they match up so poorly against, and that literally is Oregon. Like, I thought Oregon was a way better passer this year. Was I crazy for thinking that? Hold on. Am I crazy?
They're just very hit or miss. They have good running backs, but they don't have like a single running back that's really good.
Okay. So I thought they were a way better passing team than 49th. But I feel like that obviously their floor is playoff quarterfinals because they're already in there. But it would be so hard for me to see them go national champions. Because I see them hitting that brick wall of Indiana, or if let's say Oklahoma, I see them hitting that brick wall and just being absolute stumped. Because Mendoza is literally the Heisman. Like, he has been the best quarterback this season. As controversial as it is, he has been that player. And you line up against the Texas Tech team, Indiana doesn't need to run. They can throw it too, and that puts Texas Tech in a bad spot. And Oklahoma, if they slip by Indiana, that means they're throwing pretty well because that means Mateer's firing. that also is a really bad matchup. So I feel like their playoff semifinal capped, where even if they beat Oregon,
I can get behind that.
even if they beat Oregon, they're stuck at Indiana, or I keep throwing Oklahoma. That's like a 20% chance in my mind. So if they play, it'll be like an 80% chance Indiana, 19% Oklahoma, and then a 1% Alabama. And even Bama's a bad matchup if we get, because if they make it that far, then Ty Simpson's firing. Like these all three teams have such a good quarterback that I don't see them making past the semis. So I said this about Ohio State last year. So
I can get behind that, to be honest with you.
All right, Georgia.
I kind of already talked about Georgia, but I think they're really good. I think they can win it all. But I don't think their team is that great, but their coaching staff has made them play really good football. It's kind of like the same with, if you want to say, like Indy. I don't fully believe this because I had Indiana as like a top 15 roster at the beginning of the year. But I didn't think Indiana was all that, or people don't think Indiana's all that talented, but they're playing really good team football. I think the same thing with Georgia. But their coach is doing amazing.
That's where I'm kind of at right now with them, because they're so, hold on, I'm trying to plug in my headset. They're so quarterback capped. I don't think quarterbacking wise they're good with Gunner, right? Am I crazy? Yeah. I don't think Gunner's like an amazing quarterback by any means. They're good with Nate Frazier, but is that really who you're going to rely on? I feel like that's such a, wait, what am I saying? Nate Frazier's the running back, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're in such a bad spot when you're so reliant on, when you're lacking enough talent to where you have to play Ohio State, or you have to play Miami if they beat Ohio State, or Texas to A&M even. Like, those are tough teams to play, to where I don't think they're capped at semifinals because they have the best coaching staff in the playoffs. You could say, that's tough. Wait.
It's hard.
I guess Indiana. Never mind.
Indiana's a good coaching staff. Ohio State has a really good coaching staff.
I think they have the best head coach in experience wise. Yeah. Because Smart is definitely very smart. So it's kind of a push and pull scenario where they could make it far, but what Georgia are we gonna get?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get that team that destroyed Alabama, destroyed Texas? Are we going to get, obviously, Georgia Tech? I feel like it's not a fair comparison. Florida. Are we going to get that Florida or that Mississippi State team? Or the Ole Miss game where they played all right? They looked beatable. And if they look like that, then they're going to get beat. And again, they are national champions. Cap, though. I think at best, they would win it all. They're not capped like Alabama or Ole Miss or something.
I agree.
What do you got on Ohio State?
Ohio State's weird, man. We saw last year where they look like they struggled all year long. They lost to Oregon, they lost to Michigan, and they hit the playoffs and they turned into a different team. I heard last year Ryan Day talk about how they actually kind of planned for that because they were the slowest team in the country during the season, and then their playoff play style did not match that at all. He said they were doing that to play less snaps so they can keep their guys healthy, yada, yada, yada. Are they doing that now? I don't know. I thought they would have maybe ramped it up for conference championship weekend. They only scored 10 points. So if we get that type of Ohio State, I think they either lose first round or probably definitely lose to Georgia. But if they ramp it up, they can win it all. They have the best wide receiver group in the country. Bo Jackson is running really well for them. Julian Sain looks good decently here and there. Their defense is good. I mean, their defense is one of the best in the country. They held Indiana to 13 points, which is pretty impressive. And Illinois got a garbage time touchdown against them, and they scored 16 points. Other than that, the highest someone scored on them, I think, is Illinois at 13.
Yeah, Illinois at 16.
Oh, 16? Was it 16-13?
Yeah, 16-34. 14. Yeah, no, the highest was Illinois' garbage time touchdown was 16. Because it was originally 10. 34-10.
Yeah.
So then it would be Penn State at 14.
14, there you go. So, people don't score on Ohio State, which if Ohio State can hold everyone to, let's say, 17 points or under, then they have a shot to easily win it all. So, but they could easily lose to let's say Miami wins and Miami can score 21 points and Ohio State scores 14.
I have such a hard time seeing that happen because
Yeah.
I don't think
Or let's say
Miami's too consistent.
or let's say Georgia does it,
Yeah, that's more. I feel like the first round would be if they were in an Indiana spot or a Texas Tech spot. I feel like they could get upsetted. But I feel like in that spot, it's such a good matchup for them because Miami's so prone to mistakes. They are easily the most mistakable team. Is that the right word?
And if they win that first game, that probably means Carson Beck had a good game, which probably means he's bound for a bad game.
Yeah, so then he'll get whomped by Georgia in the rematch game. So you're dead on with that. I don't think Ohio State showed a lot when they played Indiana. I feel like they've been really they've been good. A Texas game I don't factor as hard, and they haven't really played tough competition. I mean, who does the Big Ten want to claim as like tough competition? The only one I'd agree with would be Washington.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like okay teams. Like Washington's an okay team, Michigan's an okay team, Illinois is an okay team. I actually think USC is pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's they play Iowa, USC? Nebraska. They're okay teams. Nothing like crazy, but
that's the funny part. They didn't play any of those guys. USC they didn't play.
Fair enough then.
Iowa they didn't play. Like they found themselves with such a easy, and I'll give the Big Ten credit. They looked better than the SEC on the top with Oregon, but Ohio State and Indiana. But throughout depth, Ohio State didn't play USC. They didn't play Iowa. They played Washington, Illinois, and Michigan. But those are all like Met teams, and I say that while I think I'm going to the Michigan-Texas game. But it's like,
oh, you are? That's sick.
Yeah, I'm considering the Pop-Tart Bowl if I can figure that out. But
that'd be sick too.
That would be. But Michigan was the best team they played, in my opinion, just considering rivalry. It's like the same thing with Georgia Tech. Like I think Georgia Tech was one of the best teams they played, just because of the rivalry and the stakes. But they whomped them. And the only other team I'd consider good would be Washington. And when they played Indiana, they looked Their offense did good, but the red zone just kind of was the downside, the downfall of them.
They looked like they were playing very Ryan Day looked like he was playing very scared. Like he didn't want to make a mistake,
Well, yeah, because if he made a mistake, then they knew Indiana could punish it. And sure, they didn't make any turnovers. They also were not good on third down. They were 4 for 11. They were 2 for 4 in the red zone. They didn't give up a lot of penalties, but they also didn't run very far.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Why does it say 50? Oh, never mind. Julian Saint took 29 yards. I was wondering why it said 58 and Bo Jackson had 83. But even that, I just feel like Ohio State gets outmatched almost. But I still think it's so hard. Because like you said, they're so confusing. They could be so good this season. They could absolutely just smoke the teams. This website's awesome. Rankly has them as the number 1 with the True Power Index, which is I don't know how it works. They have some formula that the college bracket normally uses to compare the teams.
A lot of there's a huge equation or something.
Yeah, it's just NSR, which is like success rate margin after opponent and tempo adjustments. Positive numbers mean you stay on schedule more often than your opponents, which is good. That's a good sign. And they've had 2 games where they go under per play explosiveness. They have a bunch of stats, which in their situation, they looked really good statistically with the advanced stats of college football. They looked good, but they looked bad against Indiana. And that was such a roundabout way of saying they look good sometimes and they look bad other times.
Yeah.
So the ceiling's obviously national champions. I think the floor would be. I don't see them losing in round 1.
The semis.
Just because, or the quarterfinals. Just because it's Miami and Texas A&M. If it was again Oklahoma, Oregon, like a team that actually has shown that they don't make a lot of mistakes, they can hold on to the ball, they can be that better team, then I would be more scared. But that's such an easy matchup. And then once they play Georgia, then we'll see. But it's time to go on to the team that beat them, Indiana.
Yeah, I love Indiana. I I wasn't on them this much, but I was one of the few people that were on them this offseason for like making the playoffs again, going 10-2 or 11-1. I really liked them as a team, as a roster, and a lot of people didn't agree with me, but I was right. I mean, I was right in the sense that I was more right than other people, but like they were way better than I thought they were going to be. But they have proven that they are a contender. They can win it all. Signetti knows how to scout talent in the portal, and he does it at an elite level. And he's a great coach. He knows how to hire. He's done it all right. They can win it all. Their defensive lineman though did go out in an injury after the game.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was like celebrating with fans, and like it looked like just a rolled ankle, but they said he's gonna be out for the rest of the year. So that's a little tough, but I think Kirk Cignetti's gonna get him ready. So
Stephon Daly. Oh
yeah,
wow,
Daly.
19 tackles for loss, second most tackles.
Yeah, he's really good. But I think I mean that might make him lose a little bit of an edge, but they still have the same ceiling. Like they can still win it all without him.
What a sentence! While high-fiving fans after the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
That's such a bad loss. But no, I still feel like obviously their ceiling is national champions. They're number 1 seed. What I don't like about the college football playoffs is the matchups decide so much. And I know that's kind of unavoidable, but Indiana has one of the tougher. If they didn't have Texas Tech on their side, they would have easily the toughest set of games where all these teams can get hot. Oregon can get hot. Oklahoma can get hot. Bama can get hot. I feel like Miami and Texas A&M and Ole Miss you see what you get what you see. Like Miami's been kind of inconsistent, but they also are turnover prone, which is why I don't feel confident against the Georgia or Ohio State. A&M's pretty cut and dry. Same thing with Ole Miss, but like all the other teams have so much bipolarity to them. I know I just made up a word, but they're so indifferent. They can do so much, and that's such a bad spot for Indiana to be in. But I also like how Indiana wins ugly. Like we've seen it, Iowa, Penn State, Oregon. Oregon's less of a win ugly.
They know how to like. The saying is like put you in a phone booth and beat you up. Like they can do that. You know, they don't have to just win fancy.
Yeah, that's a new one. I called it mud fights, but I like that. Push in a phone booth and beat you up.
Yeah, what they call it. They have an actual like, I don't know. Something about I don't know. It's not. I don't know if it's that exactly, but it's something about phone booths.
Something about phone booth.
Phone booth fight or something like that.
Yeah, but where it's up close and personal. I got it now. Yeah, they win close games. And that what did we say about Ohio State? I'm just now remembering. Remember what we said before that game? We said, Ohio State, or I think I said it for sure. Indiana could win the mud fight. If it became a mud fight, close scoring game, Ohio State loses. And that's what happened. We saw it clear as day. Ohio State didn't play any competition. Indiana played the hardest of competition with Iowa and Penn State. And they won those games. And I feel like that gives them such an edge over a Texas Tech or a Georgia or even an Ohio State again, where that's what I feel like gives them the 1 seed. Is they've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech hasn't won a close game. They always blow out their team or they lose to ASU in a random kind of freaky game. Like what's the closest game besides that loss? 22 points to BYU.
Yeah.
That's not they're just gonna end up in that spot, and I feel like that's what gives them the edge almost to win it all. All right. Last thing, what's your bracket?
So my bracket right now is Oklahoma winning, Oregon winning.
Oh, hold on. Let me go to ESPN. Put this on an ESPN so it's easier to visualize.
I hate to say this, I'm really not sold on my bracket, like later rounds. Like I want to see how teams play, but I'll give you what I kind of have.
But that's the fun of the brackets. All right.
I know.
Oregon, JMU.
Oregon.
That's easy.
Oregon. I got Oklahoma. I got Miami, and I got Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's so cut and dry. You're ready. I'm ready. Oregon, Texas Tech.
I got Oregon.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
I got Oregon. I got Indiana. I got Ohio State, and I got Georgia.
Yeah, so I think my bracket was pretty much. I'm probably gonna change it, but I had Texas Tech would be the only
Yeah,
thing.
well, I'd be okay with that too.
Oregon, Indiana.
I'm gonna go Indiana. I'm gonna go Ohio State. It's gonna be a chalked.
Oh, you're going all. I see. I had Georgia. See, but I would change it now. So Indiana, Ohio State. What you thinking?
I think in a rematch. My honestly, my heart wants Indiana, but I think I'd take Ohio State to win. I think they'll get the revenge.
That's what I was also like thinking the minute you had that bracket. This was my original bracket. I made it this morning. Oh,
I can't see your screen.
Oregon. Oh, I thought you could, but I had Oregon. If you look at
you had Oregon, so I think there's a chance Oregon can easily make a run to the national championship game.
Did I think I had the same theme. Besides, I had A&M winning over Miami, and Georgia beating Ohio State.
That's fair.
And then Indiana winning it all. But honestly,
yeah.
My favorite upset would be Oklahoma to beat Indiana. That one I feel like is not the most absurd.
Are you an Oklahoma fan?
No, I'm a Gator fan.
So you just really believe in that?
I'm a huge Mateer fan. I have
fair enough.
I have a little bias to Mateer because I was on him all of last year when he was going crazy. I was literally like, I can't remember where I was. I was in a place. I mean, I could probably triangulate it. November 23rd. I was at a Niner game. It was Buffalo, and I was watching Mateer play against Oregon State, and just so depressed when Wazoo lost to Oregon State, and it was a Mateer fault, and I was like that. I loved Mateer, and then the minute Mateer got sent to Oklahoma, I was so high on him. So I think I have a little bias towards Oklahoma, in that I really love Mateer, but I like that. I like that matchup for them. Because there's no really upsets that I see other than that.
I think for that matchup to go the way you want it to, it needs to be a very low scoring game. Like Oklahoma's defense really needs to show up.
Yeah, but that's kind of the only part that scares me that saying that is Indiana's good at those low scoring games.
Yeah,
like you said, Indiana.
I don't really predict the upset. I don't really predict the upset, but
shoot, that's the fun of predictions.
It can happen.
That's the fun of predictions. You never know for sure.
Yeah.
That's all we got though. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment. Make sure to subscribe to him if you haven't already. Atlas Sports on Instagram. But thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.